Good morning, all. Atma Namaste. So, today let us understand and work on the karma aspect of the Trikaranas. So, as you're progressing from the day one, we talked about the origin of a desire and then influences of the desire, what influences the desire to be in a way that it is, and then once a desire is born, are we allowing it or not? How patience plays a very important role, and then we worked on our Manobuddhi Chittahankaras. How is that important to refine the desire? No matter where the desire has come from, how do we refine it? How do we retune it? How do we realign it to the core so that we get the best of that experience, right? Or how do we get it to our alignment? Then we worked on the action activities where we are focusing on Manasa, then Vacha. Today we are working on the Karmana or Kriya. Now, Manas is the mind where the thought arises. Yes, we also understood thought energy field, and how is that influenced? How is that giving us a clarity or confirmation on our desire? So, if the thought energy field is disrupted, you can be sure that things are not working, things would not work. So, understanding that thought energy field is what you have in your control. That's what we have discussed. And how do we influence the thought energy field in a way that it gives us the desired outcome? That is our final understanding, thought energy field manipulation or alignment. How do you call it? Whatever you name it that way. Now, Manas, the premise where everything starts, then comes the Vachas, then comes the Kriyā. With Manas, you can change your Vachas, with Vachas, you can change Manas. And then with Kriyā, you can also change Manas and Vachas. Because ultimately, what gives you the result is the action that you put in, right? So, yesterday we discussed if I wanted to build a temple, okay, first the wanting to build a temple, that's in the mind. Then you talk to yourself, how do you do it, how do you plan, how do you organize everything? Do you have the action plan, do you have the floor plan, do you have the land, do you have the money, you got the support, you got the labors, you got all the raw materials, you got the timeline fixed. That is in the communication part. And then okay, good communication, you made everything, but did you put it onto the floor? Did you put it into action? Unless you don't put it into action, it doesn't work. But if your thought energy field is so high, maybe sometimes even you don't do it personally, somebody can do it, inspired by you. That's a possibility. That is how legacy follows, right? Like all the great people, they have some visionaries. They had a vision, and somehow they have written whatever their vision is. Later, somebody put that vision into execution. But in the thought energy field of the person who put this vision, execution of it is already there. Look at the scientist Maharishis that we have. All the Maharishis have done everything that is needed and they put that into a scale. They gave that complete roadmap or action plan. Now, with that only we are able to do whatever we are doing, right? Just that we don't know their language or no, we don't know how to execute it yet with our existent technology. So, execution is vital. If you don't execute, whatever that stays in your brain or in your mind and whatever that you say would not have any effect. I would say yes, it would not have effect today, it might have it tomorrow. Just by saying Panautunda, చెప్పకపోతే అనుకోకపోతే అది కూడా అవ్వదు, రైట్? జస్ట్ బై సేయింగ్ విల్ థింగ్స్ వర్క్? నో. బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ సే, the possibility of it is also not there. So watch is also very important. Some people just act mindlessly. They are acting, no, they are acting mindlessly. That means they are acting spontaneously or instantaneously without any connection with the mind or speech. But through that also work is happening, no? For example, reflexes. Who would train in reflexes on daily basis or yearly basis at least? Right? But are we not in that element of reflexes? Reflex action antam kada, even that is an action, no? That's an activity that we do, reflex. Sometimes you say intuition, I didn't think about it, just came out of me, I just said because it is there, so you just acted. Vachas, internally, externally is an action, no? You spoke to somebody, that's an action, act of speaking, that's also vachas. So inner vachas, what you speak to yourself, what you speak with yourself, how do you communicate your dreams, desires, thoughts to yourself, where will this come from or where is it coming from? That is one plane of reference. Okay. Other plane of reference is how do you say to others in a way that they understand. How do you say to others that they also share your vision? This is also equally important, right? That is the act of communication. Yes, yesterday when we said karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, that means I am only doing my act without any expectation or anticipation of the result. So when you are acting without any phala apeksha, when you are saying anything without any phala apeksha, and that is coming from the right mind. What is the right mind? Coming from a healthy space, without influenced by ego that is hurt and wounded. So every thought originating from that space, that is been nurtured by right affirmations, right in an assertive tone, in present continuous tense, that's when your act will be aligned. Or else acts when you're fully surrendered. This is very important. When you are fully surrendered, that everything I do is just Bhagavad Prerana. So whatever you do is just inspired by divine. It's not me anymore. I am. Na aham karta, hari karta. If you are in that zone fully and you know it in your mind, it is, you know it in your manaha, buddhi, chittaha and ahankara. Na aham karta, hari kartaha. Hari karta. Ante you are not doing anything. It is just done by God through you. You don't use this like an intelligent excuse. చేసే తప్పలని చేసుకొనేసి ఇదంతా నేను కాదు దేవుడు అంటాం కాదు. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ దట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ త్రూ యూ. శివాజ్ఞ లేదే చీమ కూడా కుట్టదు. When you operate from this space that without the inspiration and without the command of the God, nothing happens, and you know it in your core and you are operating from that space. And how do you refine it? Mana buddhi chitta ahankara. How do you know your thought is coming from the right space? How do you know your speech is coming from the right space? How do you know your act is coming from the right space? Mana buddhi chitta ahankara, they should be clear. Chitta shuddhi, antahkarana shuddhi. So whatever act you do, it should be aligned with your manas and vachas, purified by manaha buddhi chitta ahankara. And what should be your action? Aim cheyali, what should I do? You should operate from the ashrama dharmas. Most of us are not even talking about ashrama dharmas. Most of us don't even know what are the ashrama dharmas. Now, what are the ashrama dharmas? We have got brahmacharya ashrama, grihastha ashrama, vanaprastha, and then sannyasa. Now, brahmacharya ashrama. As a brahmacharya, when you are in a brahmacharya ashrama, I don't think anybody is in brahmacharya ashrama here anymore. Maybe Krishna Priya could be one person. Krishna Priya in this call is in brahmacharya ashrama. Except her, I think everybody or most of us are in your grihastha or vanaprastha, right? So as per our Indian system, in Sanatana Dharma, it is clearly said a person would have Chaturashrama. They should follow the ashrama dharmas. Now, what is ashrama dharmas? What are ashramas? Brahmacharya ashrama, you have to learn the knowledge, learn the skill. You have to be fully detached. You own nothing except gaining the knowledge. Now, grihastha. In grihastha ashrama, you have to use your knowledge and skills to earn a living for yourself and your family and your dependents. Then vanaprastha. Vanaprastha, that's a new beginning. You are living a new life in the vanas. That means you are getting slowly dissociated and detached from the societal norms and your families. Then sannyasa ashrama. So this detachment is taking you to sannyasa because when you are in sannyasa ashrama, you are totally detached with nothing. Not even with the body, not even with the name or fame. So that is the reason. When you take sannyasa ashrama, you will do the karma kanda for your own self. You are dissociating with yourself. Your name will change. You have new identity. So these Chitra Ashrama Dharmas you have to follow. When the Chitra Ashrama Dharmas are followed diligently, then you will not have any problem. These Ashrama Dharmas are also connected to the Chaturvida Phala Purusharthas also. What are the Purusharthas? Dharma, Artha, Kamya, Moksha. So Ashrama Dharmas, when aligned with Dharma, Artha, Kamya, Moksha, then your Arshad Vargas will also be unchecked. What are Arshad Vargas here? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryas. So whatever act you do, this should be very clear of the Dharmartha, Kamya, Mokshas, or is it the when you are performing the Ashrama Dharmas, it should be totally aligned with Dharmartha, Kamya, Mokshas. That means have a desire on Dharmartha, Kamya, Mokshas. Now, what are Dharmartha, Kamya, Mokshas? Dharma is the occupation. Occupation should be coming in right space. Artha is money. Make money, multiply money. Kamya, have a goal, fulfill your goals and desires, so that you don't have any residual pending karmas for the next life. Whatever you don't fulfill now, calling it a sin. If you get the desire, see, if you don't have a desire, it's okay. The moment you get the desire, if you don't clear it out, what happens? It stays in the energy field, thought energy field, that will be seeding your next life. And moksha. Moksha is what? Whatever you do, you are being detached. You are not having any phalapeksha. You are finishing it off. You are not just starting and leaving. One of the biggest problem is you get a desire, you don't fulfill it, you suppress it, thinking, okay, you are all right. Now what happens? You suppressed it. It means that it is buried. When it is buried, where it goes? To your child? If you bury, where does it go? It goes into the pit of the stomach. For men or women? Men, what will they do? They give to the child. Women, they host it for the child. right? So whatever trauma, whatever fear, whatever doubt, whatever unwanted negativity that you carry personally, that's stored inside, stuck inside, if you don't let it go, what happens? It goes to the next generation. Okay, for some reason you don't have children. What happens? It goes to you to your next life. If you don't have next life, then you have this wisdom to not suppress. If you have the tendency to suppress, then what happens? It goes to next life. For you are creating a new birth, new timeline. Now you might ask, sir, if I have all bad qualities, I'm suppressing the bad qualities, bad thoughts. Is it not good? Everybody's thinking, I have bad tendencies. I've got vasanas. I got the tendency to take revenge. I got tendency to be jealous. I've got lot of anger in me. Do you want me to throw it? No. Express it. Release it. Now what happens is, if I have jealousy in me, if I act out of jealousy, what happens? At some point it hits me back, right? Suppression of jealousy is not a virtue. It hits you back. Now you got jealousy. Now when you know you're jealous, awareness has come. That means your manas told, okay, I have a I understood, I got jealous. Now buddhi says, now what? You act out of jealousy, you suppress it, or you fine tune. That is buddhi. Chittam is where you get the refinement, and that becomes your identity. Now on the chitta, on the conscience level, you are releasing it. How do you release? That is your action plan. That is your Kriyā. I see you, I feel you, I release you. Do the analysis. Why are you jealous? What is making you feel jealous? Two reasons. You know you can never be good like that person. When you know you cannot be better than that person, stop comparing. Don't look at that person only. In this digital era, what you can do? Unfollow, unfriend, or block. If it is the family members who you see them daily, for work on your triggers. If their presence is triggering you, work on your triggers. Now how do you work on your triggers? That is again the Kriyā aspect. Make a list of things that are triggering you. Sit with the trigger. Remember all the events that triggered you. Look at the emotional state. Look at the breath, how it has disrupted you. And then I see you, I feel you, I release you. Over. And another reason of jealousy is discipline. They are disciplined, equally talented, but they have discipline, you don't have discipline. They have structure, you don't have structure. Now, having someone as a reference is okay. It's okay to have a reference. Okay, somebody, for example, if I'm doing this work, I have some people that I put in my mind. Okay, I want to be like them. I want to be like them, or I want to be the best version of myself. Forget anybody and everybody. When you forget everybody and anybody, no, you not have anybody to compare. So there is no scope for jealousy. But yes, most of us are not in that space. We are in a creative spaces, so we have a competitive environment, we have a competitive edge, so it's inevitable that we have someone to compete. When you compete without attachment to the result. Compete to build excellence, not perfection, not better than somebody else. How better are you than yesterday? You just scale. That is the Kriyā. How do you do it? Practice. How do you practice? You're not practicing to become better than other person. Refinement. Manaha buddhi chitta ahankara. You're doing because you want to be excellent at your work. When you don't want to be excellent, when you don't have that sense to be best, it's okay. Not everybody has to be best. Stop comparing now. Start seeing them. When you don't see them, new triggers will not happen. Then you can work on the old triggers. Once you are healed, then again you look at them. Or you could just follow them. Right? Action is very simple. Aligned actions need some kind of fine tuning. Once you fine tune your actions aligned with manaha, buddhi, chittaha, and ahankara, very very refined, whatever action you do, if it is not coming from a wounded manas, wounded chitta, or confused chitta, or unskilled buddhi, untrained buddhi, or uneducated, unwise buddhi, or wounded ahankara, then you have to make a change definitely. ఇంకొక ఆప్షన్ లేదు. Do you think you have an option? You think you have an option because things are not hitting you immediately. But what happens if they hit you definitely, if not today, tomorrow? Right? As you sow, so shall you reap. What goes around comes around. As above, so below. Right? So if not today, tomorrow, definitely it will happen. Just by suppressing things, you're not doing any favor to yourself. Maybe you are saving yourself from the temporary hit. But when you work on it consciously, what happens? The possibility of it to happen again is gone. Once you remove the possibility of it to happen again, you are disconnecting yourself from the total possibilities. Then you are doing yourself a favor. Or else you're not doing yourself a favor. Instead, you are putting yourself into pain and trouble, which is going to hit you pakka. If not today, tomorrow, definitely. Where will it go? Where can it go? So action is very important. Action is very simple, to be honest. But if your action should be aligned with your dharma, artha, kamya, mokshas. So what is your dharma? When I talk about dharma, it is your morals, ethics and values also, no? So what are your morals, values and ethics? How many of you have sit and worked on it? Artha, money. Lot of money plays a very very major or vital role in this generation. Not just any time, Artha is purpose also. Kimartham? Why? Why did you do what you do? So whenever or whatever desire you carry, ask yourself, why did I do what I do? Why do I have this desire? What is the purpose behind this? You should be your own analyzer. You should see, I can do anything and everything and I can justify it. Right? Most of us do it, right? A lot of people do it. They do whatever they want to do and they justify it. They say, you don't know what I've been through. When you know my story, don't say it. Who bloody cares? Honestly. You did what you did, right? Ultimately, action is taken care. Nobody looks at the intent. One more tricky thing is, nobody knows when to focus on the intent, when to focus on the action. Sometimes actions is right, intent is bad. When the intent is right, actions are bad. Would you focus the intent and you forgive? Can you? Can you accept? When actions are bad, intent is good. Or when intent is bad but action is good, would you encourage or entertain? Right? It is natural that you cannot do it when intent or action is not aligned. But as I told you, manasa vacha karma, intent ఏదైతే ఉంది, action ఏదైతే ఉంది, no matter what the intent is, no matter what the action is, I only activate my hamsa tattva. I only see good in what? Good in intent, I take it. If there is good in action, I take it. If intent is not good, action is not good, then I choose to ignore. That is my buddhi, that is my chitta. That's my identity, that's my ahankara. Ahankara and aham bhavana, two things are there. So we should also have this discernment, vivekam, on how do you do this QA, qualitative or quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis, actually. You have to build your own QA system inside yourself. That is the action that you do. Not just, see, for example, someone wants a job, you have to put resumes, you have to upskill yourself, you have to become better version of yourself. That has got no compromise. If you compromise on that, fine. Or you should build a mental space or thought energy field so strong that your mind is going to be like an antenna, bring opportunities towards you. Do either of it, or do both. Use strategy, use energy. Aha. Both. Creating a powerful thought energy field and also acting accordingly. Mansa vacha karma, mano buddhi chitta ahankara, everything is aligned. And that is coming from what? Your Phalapurusharthas only, Dharmartha Kamya Moksha only. Coming from ashram dharmas also. Getting a job is ashram dharma, no? Now biggest problem is we are misplacing our ashram dharmas. How? In Brahmacharya ashrama, where your job is to learn and upskill, what do you do? Instead of learning, you are comparing, you are competent, you are into competition, you want to earn before you have anything. Right? You are too attached to your name, your fame. You cannot take a mistake, you cannot learn from your mistakes. You want to be perfect. Learning requires mistakes to be done, no? So in Brahmacharya ashrama, you have not learned. When I say learning should be 360 degrees, holistic. You should learn how to manage time. You should know how to manage resources. You should learn how to be emotionally connected. How do you be emotionally detached? How do you prioritize things? You should learn everything, not just academics, not just how to handle AI, not just don't just learn how to use chat GPT. Right? So in Brahmacharya ashrama, your job is just learn everything, learn the life skills, learn communication skills, learn job worthy skills. Be academically strong. Don't be 99%, but whatever you have learned, in whatever skill you have learned, have that excellence in that. Okay, you should have a skill that is irreplaceable. Nobody can replace you. Build that excellence. Then get in a grihastha ashrama, start earning. When you start earning, be fully bonded with the family. Have right boundaries. Now what happens in grihastha ashrama? We are detached. We are only focusing on making money. Don't disturb. I'm making money. You don't know what am I going through to make money. So in vanaprastha ashrama you should be detached. Now what you do? In grihastha ashrama you are detached. In vanaprastha ashrama you are only attached. నా కొడుకు నా కూతురు మనవడు మనవరాళ్ళు పక్కింటి వాళ్ళు ఎదురింటి వాళ్ళు అత్తగారు మామగారు కోడలు ఎట్లా చేసింది కొడుకు అట్లా అన్నాడు. Right? So when vanaprastha comes, you should be fully detached. You have to prepare or practice detachment. You will be able to detach only when you are healthily bonded. In grihastha ashrama, are you healthily bonded? No. You have got no connection only. Husband don't know what wife likes. Wife don't know what husband likes. Both of them are self-obsessed with their own ahankaras, with their own vasanas. Both of them are fighting for their survival in the relationship. Why? Both of them blame each other. If your husband is bad, wonderful. What is the right thing to do? Adjust, adapt, change. Change what? Change yourself or change the husband only. Divorce and get a new husband. Same for the wife. And both should work on themselves. When will that happen? It happens from teenage only. When you know how to handle things. Now, why are we not able to manifest things? Is our thought energy field is constantly disrupted by the issues that happen in the family. You started your day with a very, very good positive note. Now what happens? Your husband is not waking on time, or your wife started a quarrel. ఎప్పుడు ఇంతే మీరు టాయిలెట్ సీట్ క్లోజ్ చేయరు, అక్కడ స్టార్ట్. You wanted to conquer the world, but you not waking up on time, or you not closing the toilet seat, or you have not shaved on time, has made you lose your entire goal. Now your job is to correct your husband or wife. So misplaced priorities. Who to blame? Your buddhi. Why is it focusing on these things? Is it important? Maybe, maybe not. When protecting peace is very important, and doing the right thing is important, in the right way, that is important. 99% of the times you don't have issues only. But till you master that, yes, you will have issues. You should not give up. You did everything in the right direction, but nothing worked. Okay, chalo. There is one thing called DIVORC, divorce. Or adjust and adapt. పిల్లల కోసం, సొసైటీ కోసం. Why nonsense? Right? That's what we do, right? Sacrifice. Why sacrifice? When you are aligned, there is no need for sacrifice, because you do what is right and everybody will do what is right, and everybody, when everybody is doing what is right, nobody has got any expectations. No. Now what happens? Sacrifice comes. You want to meet other people's expectations of you. Why? Valuable, virtuous. Sorry, it is a virtue. You don't know what I've been through. Yes, I don't know what you have been through, and I don't even want to know what I've been through, or I don't want to even know what you have been through, as long as my needs are met. Who trained me? You. Why? Ego. I have to be a very good father. Be an excellent father. Teach children right things. Before teaching your children what is right, are you taught enough? Are you applying what you've been taught? Is it really considered? Is it really focused? Is it really put onto the practice or pedestal? When all of this is done, correct. So parents are not taught enough. Parents are not taught or learnt. When you don't learn, how do you teach it to your child? And children will learn from you only, from what you teach and what you do. You say wake up early in the morning, and you wake up whenever you wanted to wake up. And just because you wake up early in the morning, doesn't mean your children have to wake up. They should be having their own purpose connected. No, they cannot wake up just because you wanted them to wake up. Their artha should be very clear. Why should they wake up early in the morning? That's what they teach. That is what they should be learning in the Brahmacharya Ashrama. Why should they do what they do? Will be there. Sacrifice should be a choice, should not be a force. Please sacrifice for me. Will you do it? Will you sacrifice anything for me? If you choose to sacrifice, then it's not sacrifice. It's a choice. It's an informed action. Why is it sacrifice? Using the right words. Vajas. I'm sacrificing. No, you chose to do it. Simple. Don't say I'm sacrificing anything for anybody. The only question asked, did I ask you to do it? How many of you have heard this or witnessed this? When you did what you did for others' happiness, and you tell them, I did it for you, first thing that comes out of their mind is, did I ask you to do it? Kaun bola? Main pucha kya? That hits you like a cyclone. Right? So it's an informed action. Take accountability, take responsibility. Why do you want to put it like a blame? It feels like blaming others only, no? Even you did it for your child or for your husband, inform them, boss, I'm doing it for you. If you don't want me to do, let me know. I'm not going to do it anymore. నీ చావు నువ్వు చావు, నీ కర్మకు నువ్వే బాధ్యుడు అని వదిలేసేసి మీ పని చేసుకోండి. అలా అలా ఉంటాము. యాజ్ అ వైఫ్, యాజ్ అ హస్బెండ్, యాజ్ అ ఫాదర్, యాజ్ అ చైల్డ్, హౌ కెన్ వీ డూ ఇట్? వెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ దిస్ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్, వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్? Now live with the consequence. Take accountability there. I did it because I felt like doing it. With my understanding, with my awareness, I did what I did. Refinement, taking accountability of your actions. You have to take accountability of your thoughts, you have to take accountability of your speech, you have to take accountability of your actions. This is also alignment now. You don't take accountability of the narrative, that's the main problem. Virtues is very, very important. Your narrative takes all the difference. Buddhi will give you one thought. For example, you're going out, you smell, aha, mirchi bhaji. Okay, mirchi bhaji is good, I'm going out, I'm not eating. Narrative, close, cut, erase, delete, cut, erase, delete, cut, erase, delete. No mirchi, no bhaji. కావాలంటే I'll go home, I'll prepare it myself and I eat. Cut, erase, delete, cut, erase, delete, cut, erase, delete. Amma. Okay, no mirchi bhaji. I went out. Again pani puri. Ah, pani puri. Okay, cut, erase, delete, cut, erase, delete, cut, erase, delete. You're taking care of the narrative. Because I ate pani puri then or there, my stomach spoiled. No. Because you ate pani puri, it's spoiled, not there. He's selling pani puri to thousands of people. And what made you eat pani puri is your decision. Not because he made tasty pani puris or he made tasty mirchi bhajis. That is not his fault, that is his excellence. He made you fall for it. And that is his excellence. He is not just a vendor, is a marketer also, is marketing his product. So he did a very good job in making you buy it or eat it or consume it. So you consumed it because your narrative said, okay, I want to eat it. If I don't eat it today, maybe I'll miss this opportunity. Fear of missing out. ఇంత మంచి మిర్చి బజ్జీ లైఫ్లో దొరకదేమో మళ్ళీ. Right? So when a narrative is channelized, it is aligned, it is, I don't say control, but it is something in the lines of refining, knowing your priorities so well that you are not lured into it, you're not trapped into it, you're not succumbing to it, you're not falling for it. And when you build this actively, that's when you're kriyamana karma. With right mind, right thought and right speech and right actions, you are going to create the right agami. You are going to neutralize the prarabdha. For example, yes, not just eatables, you have to apply. Eatables is something like where we cannot tempt. Jehva chapalyam, you say that right? So whatever you speak, whatever you eat, both gives you life. You go to Pakistan and say Vande Mataram hours. Om Namah Shivaya. You said right thing, no? Yeah, you did know. But where did you do it? What made you talk about your patriotism in front of in Pakistan? Why should you show it there? And how much of the patriotism you saw, you showed, you exhibited in India? Patriotism is not Vande Mataram, no. Patriotism is, taking care of your environment also. You are taking care of your country. You wake up, you throw all the dustbin in the neighbor's house and say, Vande Mataram, I love my country. When I say dumping dust in other place, dust in other people's house, all the negativity you dump on the other person, you blame, you complaint. ये सही नहीं है, वो सही नहीं, ओके चलो वो सही नहीं है, तू कितना सही है? How much of you is right? How much of you is good? Forget about me, Ray. Talk about him. Why? I'm not talking about them. I want to talk about you. Because you have the problem. You are the problem. Again, when I say you are the problem, it's not judgment. It's an analysis. You judge yourself and say, aha, my hankara says, okay, I'm useless, so I'm waste only. None odli, I'm waste. Some people do this to avoid accountability and responsibility. So, on daily basis, what you do will give you an understanding of who you are. What you do becomes who you are. And what you do is again connected to what you speak, what you eat, what you think, or how you think what you think. All of this become who you are. That is your ahankara. And ahankara, that's your aham. That is you, your identity. So it is very, very vital for you to have a difference, very clear understanding on this, that my actions should always be, one moment. Okay, my actions should always come from that space which is refined from my prejudices, from my biases. And each and every single time I feel biased, I'm learning that, okay, I'm biased and I'm working on my biases. Each and every single time I do something that is coming out of unhealthy space and it caught my attention, I work on it. Now, how do you work on it? Refine, release. So, all of it will start to give you the good result about yourself when you detach, when your actions are detached from your ahamkara, and you have the aham bhavana. Aham bhavana is what? Having the sense of self. That's where na hari karta, na aham karta, hari karta. Sarvam Shivagna Mayam. When it is coming from that space, you're good. No, you're great actually. When you say na aham karta, hari karta, na aham karta, hari karta. Same statement. That tonality changed, right? Tonality gave a different understanding only. I don't have to say what is aham bhavana, what is aham kara. I did it. No, I did not do it. God did it. Yes. We have to do it every single time. Till it is habitually happening. Till it becomes you. Till you become that. I am that. Soham Asmi. See, honeybee doesn't have to become honeybee, right? But you have to become honeybee, right? For you to extract honey from the nectar from the flowers and make it a honey. Till you become honeybee, naturally, you have to work like honeybee. You are somebody else. You are becoming something else or somebody else. Two different planes. Your wounded self, your troubled self, your hurt self, your vasanas, your arishad vargas. All of them have made you who you are today. After knowing who you are today, if you don't make any changes in it, you have accepted it. You have allowed that version of you to be the one that is sitting here. Despite learning all of this, why are you not able to put into practice? That's a question you have to ask. Where is the lapse happening? Right? And who can ask that for you? Or why would anybody ask for you? When you cannot do it yourself, why would anybody do it for you? Hmm? This is very important for you to notice. If you cannot do it here and now, when are you planning to do it? Next life? Very important for you to notice this. Exactly. When you do it regularly, no, it just happens through you. For example, the one who is a professional roti maker, roti master in a restaurant or in a dhaba, it becomes natural for him to do it everything like this. For you to make a roti, you have to plan. But for a person who makes roti every day, it just happens, right? కళ్ళు మూసుకుని చేస్తారు అవునా? So whatever I'm asking you to do, the refinement of your manobuddhi chittahankaras on everything that you on your manasa vachan karma, it becomes natural at some point when you do it regularly. For that you have to do regularly, right? అబ్బా ఇంత చెయ్యాలా చేయమని చేయాలంటే చేయాలా ఆ క్వశ్చన్లోనే ఉంది కదా డూ ఐ రియలీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ దిస్ మచ్ డూ ఐ రియలీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ దిస్ మచ్ ఓకే డూ ఓకే డోంట్ డూ హూ ఇస్ ది బెనిఫాక్టర్ who are you doing it for? As long as you're doing it for somebody else, don't do it. Do it only when you want to do it for yourself. That's when you are aligned. That's when it works. But when will that come without your conscious choice or effort? Right? So you have to say, if not today, when? If not now, when? When you know this, okay, if you don't want to do it now, you don't want to work on yourself now, do this very importantly. Don't blame anybody. Don't complain. It is that will give you mental peace. You don't want to correct yourself. Wonderful, understandable. Okay, time inka raaledu or you're not aligned for you to do it. You know it, understood, wonderful. Don't blame, don't complain, don't sulk. I don't even have the right to complain. Why do you have that? Don't have that also. Why should you complain? It's an informed action. Simple. Right? Understood? And Kriyamana karma is very, very interesting aspect because every act, everything that you do is leading into its outcome, right? Everything that you do is leading to an outcome. Now, what is the outcome? Outcome is the cumulative effect of your thought, action, and the speech. It's cumulation of it. It's not independent. I thought good only, but I did wrong, so what? Ultimately, they're not aligned, no. Your good thinking might be rewarded or not. People say, people don't look at my intention, they only see what I did. Yes, definitely, that's what I do know, that's what you did. Who knows what's running in your mind? Did you ever do it? I have a good intention in my mind, but I'm doing something wrong. Can you say it to others? My intention to slap you is to correct you. Be okay with my slapping. Look at my intent. Can you talk to somebody like this and make them okay with it? If they're okay with you slapping because they're only looking at the intent, then okay, you slap. If they're okay with that, then you don't even have to slap. That is the paradox. Every action has equal reaction. No, every action has a consequence. You have to change the statement. Every action has a consequence. Sometimes consequence is good, sometimes consequence is bad. But it all started with the action. But what made you do it? Your buddhi and your manas and also your vachas. So instead of blaming, instead of complaining, instead of saying this, that, instead of putting any blame, just be very clear. It happened. Why? Because I did it. Simple. I did it in certain frame of mind. Nobody to complain, no one to blame. I did it because I felt it right at that point of time. Simple, very, very clear. You don't even have to be accountable. You don't have to be anything more than this. Be very clear. I did it because it felt right at that point of time. My buddhi, my chitta, my ahankara, my manas are like aligned to this action. Hence I did it. Sometimes you feel, sometimes you say, I did it though I did not want to do it. I did it because somebody said it. I was forced to do it. But you did it. This narrative you have to change. You have to remove the narrative. I did it. Simple. What made you do what you do? Nobody cares. Because ultimately what you did is reflecting. That put you into a place where you have to explain why did you do what you do. Right? The moment you are put into a place where you have to explain what made you do what you do, what you have done, that itself is a manifestation of misalignment. No? If you are aligned, you don't have to tell, you don't have to explain people what made you do what you did. It is very clear, it just happens. You know it, it's happening. Right? When you know it is happening, that's it. People will understand it. Each and every single time, you never had to explain your motives, you never had to explain your intent. That means people understood it, or it's not needed. Each and every single time you have to explain why did you do what you do, that's a sign of misalignment. That is not for others, that's for you. Because why are you manifesting events where you have to explain yourself? Because you don't have the Shuddhi. Hence you do something, people don't understand, you explain. Even after explaining also people don't understand. Why? Because you never understood it. Because your intent has not come from a healthy space. You think this is the reason, XYZ is the reason. No, XYZ has got another reason. That has got another reason. So when you are very clear about it, then you will be able to convey things in the right spirit. Words will be the same. The intent behind it, intent behind the intent, intent behind the intent behind the intent. When that is also cleared, and you know very well, then what the same words you say will sound differently. You are so much worried about something. Okay, something you were like so much worried. When someone says, don't worry, things will be alright. For a Naina, who are you to say this? But if a God man says, don't worry, everything will be alright. మీరు చెప్పారంటే రైట్ మీ నోటి మాట మీరు అన్నారు కాబట్టి. సో statement, don't worry, everything will be alright, when said by your spouse or when said by your friend, will sound in a certain way. When the same statement is said by some person of high value or authority or pedestal that you put them into, that sounds differently. To you, word is the same, you are not receptive, the way you should be receptive, because you don't want the word, you want something more than the word. Why? Why the same words coming from different mouth are given more importance to you? Why not the words itself? To be honest, your friends are more sincere and genuine than the some god, because they don't even know who you are. You think they know everything about you. You think they're Trikalagnas. But your friend knows it very well. Your spouse knows it very well, no? Ultimately, it is coming out of a human only, no? If you are looking for a sign, sign can come from anywhere. Your acceptance makes all the difference. Your receptivity makes all the difference. If you are like, everything is divine, Sarvam Shivamayam. Everything is taken care by the divine. Everybody is divine. Anything that comes out is a sign for you. Everything you hear is a sign for you. That is sufficient. If that is not sufficient, nothing is sufficient. Even if the God man said that, okay, don't worry, everything will be alright, pakka na, గ్యారంటీయా? మీరైతే అన్నారు కానీ వాట్ ఎల్స్ బాస్, కమ్ ఆన్, వాట్ ఎల్స్ యూ నీడ్? దట్ ఈస్ హై సెల్ఫ్ ఇన్సఫిషియన్సీ ఈజ్ స్పీకింగ్ అవుట్. You cannot even trust the God that you believe. What can you trust? Even if things happen good also, you'll question, will they last? Exactly. When whatever you asked manifested, again you question, will it last? ఒకసారి అయితే అయినట్టేనా అంటే రోజు అయితే కూడా అయినట్టేనా? వాట్ ఎవర్ థింగ్స్ దట్ నెవర్ హ్యాపెండ్, एक दो बस. Right? It's an informed choice. It's a conscious decision that you stop asking for validation. I am not living in this moment. Why do I want to have an assurance? Every second comes up to my awareness that I live. Every second I live, I want that assurance. I want that validation. Ante you should ask, where are you coming from? నా బ్రతుకు ఇంతే, నేను ఇంతే. If you have this, suffer the consequence. Simple. You are never at peace. When you are never at peace, you cannot create a peaceful environment for yourself or others around you. So they will start to hate you. Their hatred is also getting into thought energy field. Your self-hate and their hate for you, both is reflecting in the thought energy field. That is the reason you are sulking in that space. Understood, Samshay? Over. What I wanted to tell or teach, I have taught. I have given that premise of learning. Most of it is what you have learned it already or heard it somewhere. I could integrate many stuff, many things together in a way that you could learn. Again, I am giving it all of it to the divine for making this possible. So, manasa, vacha, karma or kriya, when you are very much in tune with yourself, when you are doing with a lot of alignment, you will be able to manifest your outcome. Okay, any questions or doubts until now? All right. So, the main concepts are being taught. And how do we integrate in our day-to-day life? We'll have a discussion on tomorrow and after tomorrow. And action plan will be given to you so that this activity can sustain and contain for you. So next 3 days we'll have the integration work and then execution work. and I'll do one energy clearance session maybe tomorrow or on the last day. Tomorrow or after tomorrow we'll do the energy clearance work, and then this workshop or this training will be done. Now I want you all to gear up to the next version of this action, this learning, that is execution, with a clear understanding of your manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Make it a very clear where is every thought coming from, where is it originating from. Have a very clear conscience, have a very clear connection, have a very clear thought. Okay, how to do it? How many of you understood how to do it? How many of you felt, okay, anta baane undi sir, how do I do it? What do I do it? Tomorrow's integration class, I'll give you an action plan that will have a day-to-day list of activities that you do, that you can do. You become blossom, yeah. Thank you, ma. And also, the moment you have learned it, when you execute it, you also get the benefit of it, right? You have learned it today, you don't execute, the effect of it is gone. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. We'll connect tomorrow morning, same time, 5 o'clock. We'll have the integration work and execution work, and then we have energy clearance, and let's see how things goes. Okay. Thank you all. Atma Namaste. Stay blessed. We'll connect tomorrow.